expert with our next presenter, Kirsty Ferguson. If you would like to ask questions during the session, please don't hesitate to scan the QR code that will be on this screen, and you'll be able to ask your questions during the session. We also have live interpretation that's happening provided by Interprify that you can see that on the other screen on the side. Without further ado, we only have a short time. I'll pass it over to Kirsty.
Thank you. Hi everyone. So I'm going to start off by telling you all a story. A couple of weeks ago I was at my mum and dad's house having dinner with them, and they were asking me all about my session and what it was about, and they asked me what time it was at. I told them it's at 3:30. They both looked at each other, and in true mum fashion, my mum turned round to me and went, "That's the graveyard shift." So here I am on the graveyard shift, about to chat to you about how to elevate your digital marketing game for 2024. My name's Kirsty and I'm from TagDigital. To start, I'm going to chat through what is an objective. Who here knows what an objective is? A couple of people? Great. So a campaign objective is a specific and measurable goal that we aim to achieve through a performance marketing campaign. These objectives are set to provide a clear sense of purpose and direction for the campaigns, and also its success once it's been completed. Campaign objectives can vary widely depending on the nature of the campaigns and also your desired outcome, but they are typically designed to support your broader marketing goals. There are a number of different objectives that we can apply to your event marketing campaign. The most popular objective is obviously your visitor registration campaigns. Many event organisers use this objective to help them receive more registrations for their events. By utilising paid campaigns, it allows you to look out with the traditional marketing campaigns that we're used to. However, visitor registrations is not the only objective that we can utilise through paid marketing. There's also exhibitor inquiries. We can push your desired audience to your website and have them fill out a form directly on your website. We can also do new data, so we can target new users that are unfamiliar with your event and push them towards your website, where we can later remarket to them or also capture them on another lead form. Why do we set clear objectives? Clear and well-defined objectives are essential for planning and executing an effective paid media campaign. They help us with our clarity and focus, as they help everyone involved in the campaign understand what their primary goals are. This focus ensures that all efforts are directed towards achieving our desired outcome. They provide a basis for measuring the success of the campaign. They create a benchmark against which you can compare actual results, allowing you to determine whether the campaign objective was effective or not. It allows us to set measurable targets that we can be held accountable for. This is how we monitor performance and stay accountable. We want to ensure the campaigns hit the targets outlined at the beginning of the campaigns. And lastly, they make it easier to communicate, as it ensures everyone is on the same page and working towards the same goal. Now, one thing that everyone wants to know is, how do my results compare to my competitors? At TagDigital, we work on a huge range of events every single year, which results in over 100,000 campaigns, which is why we are able to provide you with such a wide range of data regarding the different event industries. This is no other data that you can get anywhere else. It's a super niche report that we make sure is up to date every single year. Your in-house teams will not have access to anything close to this. We use this data to tailor the campaigns for you, whether that is through objectives, through regions, or through industries. One important factor that you have to be aware of is that we measure our benchmarking data on a cost per acquisition basis, or CPA, which is the cost of your visitor registration. This is usually one of the main drivers for our campaigns, which is why we have it detailed in our benchmarking report. We believe that this is the best metric to ensure you're reaching your goals. It's also a great way to highlight the ROI on your digital campaigns. The first benchmarking graph that I'm going to show you is per objective, which obviously we've just discussed what the objectives are. We've pulled together our top 4 most popular objectives and outlined the average CPA we see across our TagDigital data, which we'll be able to see in the following graph. Here you can see cost per acquisition per objectives And you can see the difference on average it will take for you to get a free registration compared to a paid delegate, compared to exhibitors, for example. This data helps you understand how much you should need to achieve your aimed results. Next, I'm going to show you our benchmarking data per industry. Please keep in mind that this is also across the world. We've broken down the industries into segments, as there are a number of different event industries. We had to categorize them somehow. It is a lot of information, so look closely. This graph clearly highlights a global average CPA that you can expect for visitor registrations within your specific industry. You can also see how much the CPAs vary depending on industry to industry. For example, if you look very closely, we can see that construction and infrastructure has an average CPA of £3.40. Compare this to transports, logistics and maritime with a CPA of £13.11. This is a really good example of why we don't compare results across industry sectors, as they're not comparable. There's lots of different levels of competition with different industry sectors, so make sure that you're keeping your goals aligned to your specific industry. At TagDigital, we are constantly on the lookout for the latest innovations to take your campaigns to the next level. And over the last 6 months, we've been testing a number of new innovations across multiple platforms. And we've compiled these into our top 4 must-haves for 2024. First up, programmatic advertising. Does anyone here know what programmatic advertising is? A couple of people? I'll go into it in a bit more detail. This is a huge innovation for 2024 and something that we've been encouraging all of our clients to adopt in the past year. In short, if you're not using programmatic, you should be. So what is it exactly? Imagine you're watching videos on your favorite website or your favorite app, and you see an ad pop up. These ads are chosen for you by a computer, not by a person. These programs use data and algorithms to figure out the best places and times to show ads to you at the right time. So programmatic advertising is all about showing your ads that are more likely to be interesting to you based on your interests and your online behaviours. It helps advertisers reach the right people with their ads and helps you see ads that are more relevant to your interests. It is really important to note that programmatic is not as simple as Google Display. There's a wild statistic about Google Display versus programmatic that I'm going to share with you. On average, the Google Display network serves approximately 10 billion impressions per week. Sounds really impressive. However, programmatic serves about 90 billion impressions per day. So huge, huge audience, huge awareness platform, and it's just not comparable to Google Display anymore. It also has access to more than 90% of sites, which again is a much wider reach than Google Display. On the screen here, I currently have some examples for programmatic for display, and I'm going to talk you through a couple of them. So on the left-hand side here, you can see an ad for MJ BizCon in the corner. This is a marijuana event that's held in the US. As you can see, the user is browsing high times. Therefore, the MJ BizCon is a super relevant event for them, and they can see it, and that's why they've been targeted with it. On the far side, you can see an ad for In Flavor. This is a food and beverage event that's held in Saudi Arabia. As you can see, the user is on Kitchen, a food and beverage website. Therefore, the In Flavor ad that is showing to them is super relevant as it's based on their online behaviour. But programmatic is also more than just display and video. The placements that I'm about to explain to you, you won't have even realised that these will have been programmatic advertising when you've looked or listened to them. First up, connected TV. These ads refer to advertising content delivered to viewers through internet-connected smart TVs or your streaming devices. Connected TV ads enables advertisers to reach their target audience in a more targeted and personalised manner while they're consuming content on streaming platforms or on apps or other digital channels. Unlike traditional television advertising, connected TV ads leverage the capabilities of the internet to offer more precise audience targeting, real-time analytics, and an interactive element, allowing us to measure performance and engagement more accurately. They also offer the advantage of reaching audiences who have moved away from traditional cable or satellite TV, as well as enabling more relevant ad placements based on user behaviour and demographics. How many of you here still watch live TV? One person? Exactly. So connected TV is how the advertisers reach you out with your standard live TV, which still has those adverts that we all loathe. Audio ads. This refers to advertisements that are delivered through audio channels such as radios, podcasts, music streaming devices, or other audio-focused platforms. These ads are designed to engage listeners using only audio content, making them a powerful tool to reach audiences in various contexts, such as during your morning commute to work, while you're exercising, or just relaxing at home. Audio ads can also take the form of pre-recorded commercials, sponsorships, endorsements, or branded content, and they aim to convey the advertiser's message effectively through sound. These are currently available on Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, no sorry, not Apple Music, Amazon Music. They're not available on Apple Music at the moment. And lastly, we have digital out-of-home advertising, and the hint is pretty much in the name here. This is a form of advertising that can be found outside of a consumer's home. Traditionally, this will include everything from your billboards to bus shelters, benches, and pretty much everything in between. If you see an ad outside of your home and it's not on your mobile, then you're most likely looking at a digital out-of-home ad. Everyone here knows Times Square and Piccadilly Circus? Those are all programmatic ads, and you won't have even realised it. It's a great place for creativity to thrive in the world of advertising. It's a large, impactful space, and couple this with the need to provide a clear and lasting message, it's perfect for testing out your brand's more creative ideas. The main motive for digital out-of-home is to spread awareness and reinforce and reinsure or direct someone towards the brand or an offering. It's a marketing approach where a business gives more importance to spreading awareness rather than those conversions that we typically talk about. I'm now going to highlight the impact of programmatic advertising and how it will impact your Google campaigns, for example. I've pulled together 2 case studies that I'm going to chat you through. The first one is for a fashion event that's held in the US. And basically, we ran programmatic in 2022. However, we did not run this campaign in 2021. So here are the results. If we look closely at the conversions, you can see that in 2021, the campaigns received around 1,000 conversions without programmatic, versus 2022, they received around 2,000 conversions with programmatic. It's really important to note that the spends were pretty much the exact same. We maybe spent $100 of a difference between the 2 campaigns. However, you can already see the significance of adding programmatic advertising in 2022. Overall, the conversions increased by 96%, and we also saw that cost per acquisition come down by around 49%. The next example is for a construction event that we ran, and again, we see a very similar impact of programmatic advertising, with an increase in conversions by 95% and a decrease in the CPA by around 37%. Also, if we look beyond the conversions, there's also a direct impact on our impressions as well. So in 2022, there was around 250,000 impressions, versus 2023, we had around 350,000 impressions. You really should be thinking about incorporating programmatic into your marketing campaigns, because I can guarantee that your competitors are already doing it. Innovation number 2 is from Meta, and we're going to chat about Meta as Advantage Plus audiences. You might have already heard about this, but Meta have basically rebranded a lot of their current targeting, and they've developed it into Advantage Plus. So what is Advantage Plus? This is Meta's new AI-powered audience targeting features, and it's still very much being rolled out, so not all ad accounts will have access to the audience feature. One thing you might be wondering is, how does this differ from how you target your audiences currently? This update will use targeting specifications as suggestions rather than restrictions to automatically find your ideal audience. Essentially, it uses your targeting as a guidance. One thing which is really important to note with Meta's Advantage Plus audiences is that you have to have really clear creatives. Meta can determine what the ad is about and match it with the potential converters without explicit audience targeting. So strong creative and creative variation is a key to success here. Meta's AI power will then learn from this and target similar users who are likely to take the same action. Some of you might be thinking, is this a good update? In most cases, absolutely. Most campaigns benefit from targeting more widely and using targeting inputs as suggestions rather than constraints, and it's a good way to steer targeting away from more niche audiences. However, in some specific cases, you still need to be able to target and restrict your audiences. That's also fine. We can add in some age and custom audiences here as well. Of course, I've got another case study for you to highlight the impact of Advantage Plus audiences. This is for another construction event that we ran this year, and we had originally set the campaigns up with broad interests and lookalike audiences. So broad targeting, this utilises your traditional interests and job title targeting available already on Meta, and then your lookalike audiences takes your remarketing data and finds users whose demographic and interests are similar to those in your original data pool. So we started with broad targeting and lookalike, and around 2 weeks later, we then added in the Advantage Plus audience. And as you can see, this was a really strong addition to the campaigns, achieving over 50% of the overall conversions on Meta. Number 3, we have our demand gen campaigns. How many of you watch YouTube or most recently YouTube Shorts? Yeah? Without you even realising it, Google AI powers so much of what we love about YouTube. You've got your content recommendations, your accessibility, user experience, and way more, which is why demand gen campaigns have been introduced. They've been introduced to expand Google's AI capabilities. This is an AI-powered campaign type designed to serve visually engaging content to discover and convert users through a social ad-like campaign across Google placements. It was designed to multiply your creative and drive demand. It was also built to help advertisers who buy on social platforms find and convert consumers with immersive, relevant, and visual creatives that grab attention and spark action in the right moment. With Demand Gen, your best performing video and image assets are integrated across the most visual, entertainment-focused touchpoints. You have YouTube, YouTube Shorts, Discover, and Gmail. These products reach over 3 billion users, so huge potential for audiences. Demand gen campaigns make it easier to connect with consumers and drive demand from the mid-funnel, all the way through to conversion. And they can also help find potential customers before they have even actively started researching your event. And of course, with any new innovation comes new features to help drive performance. Firstly, and perhaps most importantly, there are a variety of new and engaging ad formats to utilise, including short-form videos, carousels, portraits, and square images, all within one single campaign. Those of you who use Meta and LinkedIn will be familiar with the carousel and square image ad placements already. Secondly, you can expand beyond existing customers with lookalike segments. Again, this is something that we're not unfamiliar with, as we already have this capability across Meta and LinkedIn. Thirdly, you can reach and expand your reach on YouTube. The reach of demand gen campaigns includes all the reach of Google's ads inventory, as well as YouTube in-stream and YouTube Shorts. The mix of both will likely increase your reach. And lastly, you can drive more conversions by reaching new users in the moment with visually engaging content. This brings us to number 4. TagDigital's final innovations for 2024 is, of course, creative and video. 2 super important factors to any paid marketing campaign. Creatives are so important, if not the most important asset you can have. As platforms are constantly evolving and emerging, it's crucial that we stay up to date with the times. With the rise of video platforms such as TikTok and YouTube Shorts, it is clear that the images and banners that we're used to promoting are not going to work within the world of AI. Which brings me to generatively AI creative. Generatively AI advertising combines the power of artificial intelligence and human creativity. The Gen AI ads leverage advanced AI algorithms and techniques to generate compelling visuals, captivate your target audience, and create unforgettable ads that stand out. Some of the benefits of using Gen AI with your creative strategy are they give you the freedom to experiment. They give you the opportunity to experiment with different ad concepts. They also deliver a unique visual experience for your audience. One thing to note with Gen AI is that they will look different from your typical creative. However, that's the point. They're made to present your brand's message in a completely new and unique way. And of course, I've got a case study for you. We are currently running a number of different tests within TagDigital to highlight the impact of utilising generative AI creatives. The one shown on screen at the moment was run for Automechanica Dubai, and as you can see, the results pretty much speak for themselves. We tested a traditional event banner against an AI banner that we created. The Gen AI banner came out on top with 1,900 conversions versus the traditional banner, which received 635 conversions. Now again, if we look beyond the conversions, we can see that the click-through rate also improved on the Gen AI banner, and also the impressions almost tripled on the Gen AI banner as well versus the standard banner. It's clear how important having strong, up-to-date creative is, and the same can also be said for our videos. How many of you utilise one promo event video across your campaigns? A couple of you? We cannot stress enough how important it is to incorporate videos into your marketing strategy. We're beginning to see a large percentage of videos outperforming single image ads within our campaigns, and on average we see our accounts have seen around a click-through rate be 75% higher for videos versus single images, and also on average the CPC is 7% lower for videos compared to single images. And one method that we're encouraging our clients to adopt is to implement a full video funnel across their campaigns rather than utilising your standard one promo video. In simple terms, we need to start to split out our videos in line with the audience we target through the funnel, in the same way that we do our copy as well. If we break down the funnel at the awareness phase, this is where users have an interest in your industry, but they're not yet aware of your event. This is a really good opportunity to promote your event throughout what is the event video. Moving to the consideration phase, this is where people are beginning to look for and research an event. We need a powerful engagement video at this stage, promoting the user as to why they need to attend your event. You can use a highlight video, you can use interviews with your exhibitors and your visitors, testimonials, really highlight the event's USPs in this stage. And lastly, we have your bottom of the funnel stage, which is the action phase. A shorter 6-second video works really well here, as we're reminding your audience that they should attend your event. If they are a new user, they will have already made their way through the funnel, and therefore we just need them to register at this phase. This brings us to our key takeaways. These are the things that I would really like you to remember. First up, set out clear objectives. These will allow you to measure the overall success of your campaigns and ensure that all efforts are directed towards achieving specific outcomes, reducing confusion and aligning goals. The impact of programmatic cannot be ignored. Grow your events and add programmatic to your campaigns. It increases your brand's exposure tenfold and drives registrations to your event. What more could you want? Remember, if you're walking down the street and you see a digital billboard, it's programmatic. You see an ad in an airport, it's programmatic. You are listening to your favourite podcast and you hear an ad, it's programmatic. It's everywhere and you don't even realise it. And chances are your competitors are already using it. Creative and video are your best friends. Get ahead of the curve and trial Gen AI creatives. Allow yourself to think outside the box and trial this new, unique way to showcase your event. Think about implementing a video funnel approach to ensure you're reaching the right people at the right stage of the buyer's journey. And lastly, Innovation Station. Utilize the new innovations released by the platforms. They're there to help improve your campaigns, so use them. Thank you.
Do we have questions for Kirsty? Yeah?
Hi. I'm like,
I just had a question on AI-generated content. I know that, like Google, they're going to start like showing, aren't they, that it's AI-generated? Is that correct?
Yes, you're right.
Do you think that will affect how like people interact with ads because it says it's generated by AI? Do you think it's going to affect it? Like people might be like more distrusting, or not? I don't know whether that's really a question, but like.
No, I know what you mean. I personally don't think so, because I think the look of the Gen AI ads already looks like it's Gen AI. So I think if we go back to the standard banners versus the Gen AI, you can quite clearly see which one the Gen AI is, and people are interacting with it more because I think they're using their creative minds to look at the ads, and I don't think it will be really in your face that it's from Google, for example. So I do think it will be fine, but it's one that we could definitely A/B test to see if it does have a direct impact on the campaigns, and I'm sure it's something that our event organisers will probably look to test in the future.
Any other questions for Kirsty?
No? Cool.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us at the Kaltura stage. I'd also like to give a thank you to our headline sponsor, Choose to Rent, who's helping to make all of this possible. And don't be shy if you do want to talk to Kirsty. I feel like there was a lot of questions, so don't be shy. You don't hesitate to reach out.